Morning to all traders and welcome to another Markets and Waves. Today is Friday, the last day of the week. We have also NFP and we've had a very interesting session yesterday with the continuation of the upside on the dollar, getting some people thinking that this might be the reversal that everybody has been waiting for. But in my opinion, guys, dollar is likely to weaken further in the medium and longer term. So we're going to have a quick look and close the week with the DXY, the euro dollar, Aussie dollar, gold as well as oil, and starting of course with the DXY. I've got to tell you that nothing really much changed in my eyes. What really happened is that we've looks like we've done with this intermediate wave move to the downside in wave one, because we've got 5 waves down, and this is probably just an A, B, and a C. So we've got 1 and 2 over here. It looks like to me that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for 3, then 4 and 5. And I'm looking for wave 2 to end around the 38.2 Fibonacci retracement slash 1.618 of the Fibonacci extension of waves A and B, which is around the 91.14. So this to me is going to be a very good cluster. Now in case we break above that though, then most likely we're looking at the 91.50 and then 92 even, which is a 61.8 Fibonacci retracement. But the 38.2 might make more sense, since this is only the second wave of the of this impulsive move to the downside, not for the particular reason. Usually waves towards are actually 61.8 of correcting 61, but because this is in my opinion going to have an impulsive move to the downside in wave 3 quite extended, then I believe we might be in for a surprise and have that finishing this correction quite soon. Otherwise, and should we go to the 61.8 or at least break the 13.2, there is high possibility that this is going to be a W, X, and Y. Okay, so when I get that dip, obviously, and as I have said before, guys, in case, well, there's 2 more scenarios. One is bearish, the other one is bullish. The one is WXY, XZ. And we're looking for wave 4 to end here, and the other one, as you remember before, I've called interesting there, is that wave 5 ending down here, and this is some sort of leading diagonal pattern. That's just a correction, and from here now this is 1 and 2. We're gonna go 3, 4, and 5. That's gonna be intermediate 1 and continue higher. But I doubt this is the case, guys. Okay, now the euro dollar, again, I told you I've been expecting this correction to be a bit deeper, and I've changed my count over here. As you can see, my 1 and 2 remain the same. I'm still bullish in the medium and long term. The one alternative we're looking for, this being an ended diagonal, right? You remember ABC, because we're looking W, X, Y, X, and Z, and we're looking at an A, B, and a C with an ending diagonal. But because it still remain bullish, yeah, I'm calling this my main scenario. That's the 1 and the 2, and that's a leading diagonal 1. I'm expecting a deep correction down to around the 161 Fibonacci expansion of waves. What is it? A and B over here. Around the 78.6, right? That's because it's a cluster, of course. Now, when we have leading diagonals, they usually followed by deep waves too. That is the reason I think the 78.6 and 1.618 cluster around above 120 might actually do the trick over here. In case, of course, we break below that wave 2, then most likely, this is like an ABC. As we've been looking before, that's going to be W, X, Y, X. We're going to get the Z, and wave 4 is going to end down here instead. Okay. Now there is also another scenario that if we break wave 2, that's to be considered as this being wave 1 and that being wave 2, which means we need to get our FIBO again from bottom to top, and you know, get our levels out. Looks like reversed. Okay, there we go. So we are looking really the risk to go even lower down will increase. But the case over here will be that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? Which means that 4 and 2 could actually stop here at around the 50 Fibonacci, around 119.86. Okay, 4 and 2. That would be a double. Or usually we get that in a wave for 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you get the 3 and the 4 in the external structure. But the 4 and the 2, it's very possible as well. Okay, makes no difference as long as we'll see that double bottom in. But until then, guys, let's just look at 120.40 for now and take it from there. No signals on the RSI MACD. Continuation to the downside likely to be taking place. Now, Aussie against the dollar. Last time we looked at it maybe a couple weeks ago, leading diagonal. Excuse me, I clicked the wrong button. Leading diagonal that I expected, correction that I expected. 1 WX and Y for 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, for 3, for 4, and the 5. That's what I'm looking, guys, at this stage. So Aussie against dollar, again, I'm expecting downsides. As you can see, there is a short-term, short to medium-term period where I'm expecting the dollar to correct. So most of the other currencies, including some commodities, are going to be seeing prices, you know, receiving some sort of correction or, you know, weakness pretty much. So with that, I'm looking at the 100 Fibonacci of A and B. That brings me down to 0.74913. It's close to the 61.8, okay, of this leg to the upside, wave 1. But still, it's where wave 2 is expected to go, and I'm not going to be surprised if we see that going to 73.69, okay, 70, because wave 3 obviously is overextended over here. And if we take even into account the recent leg to the downside, 1 and 2, look, I mean the 61 comes like down to 74, okay, which means our 75 can be anywhere up to 75.90. Our wave 4, sorry, and from there we're looking for prices to move lower down, and then we're looking at 200 Fibonacci, which again comes between those two levels. So this is going to be a strong cluster in my opinion. Okay, so that is a clear ABC to me, to be fair, unless if we've got a different scenario over here where, you know, when I get an A, B, and a C, because that for some people looks a bit corrective, and you know that's true, it is, but this looks impulsive to me. So I'm thinking that this is just a correction, and we're going to continue lower down. Okay. Signals on the signals on the RSI and MACD. There we go. Double click. No, wrong. There we go. We've had this sort of signal on the RSI, and this is when prices started moving lower. Okay, but for now we don't see any other signals. Continuation. And let's jump on the oil. Oil, you remember that I've been showing the alternative scenario over the past few days. We've called this a running flat a few days back, which means this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now with this sort of corrective move to the upside, I am more confident that this is an ending diagonal, which means we can expect the correction down to, well, anywhere between those levels. And again, this is reversed for some reason. So 66.38, 64.53, we do not know for wave 2, and then we'll continue up for wave 3. Okay, now of course that could be wrong, because if you remember, I was still calling, actually when we did this, the running flat scenario came into play, right? But we're not really convinced yet, because we haven't even broken above the 38.2. Hold on, 1382 is either the one or the other. Okay, this is huge. Is this the correct level? No, it's not. 1 second, because it did really look like it's overextended. So we're looking at this, okay, 72. As long as I'm below 72, the probability of this being still a wave B over here, it's high, okay, which means that's W, X, Y, X, Z could be, and we just finished here wave B, and then we'll start correcting lower, which are going to probably, you know, start considered more seriously once we break below the 61.8 Fibonacci retracement over here, guys, right? Or the other scenario is that, you know, we've already done, which is the least probability scenario for me. We've already done the correction down here, and this is leading 1 and 2, and this is part of a multi-structural move to the upside. In either case, guys, I think the 72 is going to come into play fairly soon after we receive a correction, okay? But for the time being, I'm looking at this as an ending diagonal, so whatever the scenario is, I'm expecting a correction, okay? RSI and MACD both shows a signal to the downside, so I'll be looking to see the break of the, well, 68.01, and do not forget the 68.1 is also the previous stop, right? So if we don't get back in here, then, well, that's the wrong count, and we're going to continue higher, which means one of the alternatives is going to play through. And on gold, don't say I didn't tell you that I'm expecting a deeper correction, because I did, which means now we're going down in wave 4. To me, guys, this looks like a very nice expanding flat. 1, 2, but this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think, 4 and 5. So I do expect another leg down, and this leg down, obviously because of the way this downside move has taken place, we've done the 161.8 extension at 1860, could get us down to 1828, because this is the 261 of waves A and B. This is the extension, Fibonacci extension, right? Not the expansion. So that means that most likely our wave C of this expanding flat, it is an extended wave SC, okay, or is going to be. In either case, guys, I was expecting that bottom to be revisited, and I told you so. So any move below that, because as I said before, we are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 over here, so I'm expecting the 4, which might be in already, and I want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 again. We could have a break outside this channel, okay? If we do get a break outside this channel, this will mean that the minor cycle ended up here, okay? Because for now, as long as we stay above it, it means that this is still a wave 4, and we're gonna go up to 5. But if we break, most likely it will mean that this is okay. 1, 2, fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, then that's the 4 and the 5 and the 8 and the B and the C. Okay, so what we will be looking most likely is for wave 3, wave 4, and wave 5 to be actually here. Okay, which means this is an impulsive move to the upside, a very short 5, okay, compared to 3, of course, unless if we look at this with a different eye, which means 1, 2, well, it's hard because we still get 5 waves, and this is a 3, like it looks very clear that this is a 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, sorry, it would be something like this, and the 4 will become over here, and the 5 will be here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If we break below, that means minor degree is done, and we are likely to correct even lower, 1795, 1767, and then continue up in intermediate wave 3. Okay, and I do hope that this makes sense, guys. Okay, now do we get any signals on the RSI and the MACD? Well, we got that signal over here last week or during the week, and this is what happened. So I've been expecting for this for a while. Should it continue lower down, as I said, likely to get the alternative scenario coming in, okay? But not really a false break. False breaks don't count. So thank you very much, guys, for watching once again, and pay attention to the NFP numbers, of course, and trade safe, because today's session is going to be volatile. Maybe not throughout the session, but definitely after the post NFP. Okay, so in case you want to leave a comment, feel free to do so, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Enjoy the last Friday of this week. Well, the Friday of this week, the ending of the trading session for the week, and we'll speak again next Monday.